Sean bienvenidos a este video de CRL, donde estaremos viendo la gran final del bracket mensual de agosto, donde se coronó campeón el dominicano Adriel. Pero para llegar a la corona se tuvo que enfrentar contra la revelación del torneo, Viper, contra el segundo mejor jugador alemán, OP Sam, y en la gran final contra la bestia brasileña, Pedro, quien fue el subcampeón de CRL 2023. Este no se la pondría fácil al campeón. En unas partidas épicas que no te puedes perder, Adriel se coronó como campeón invicto, derrotando a todos sus rivales desde el Winners Brackets, ganando contra todo tipos de mazos, demostrando por qué fue el justo ganador de estas finales. Sin más, me despido recordándote que si te gusta este tipo de contenido, dejes tu buen like, te suscribas y compartas este video con tus amigos. Ahora sí, los dejo con este gran video mundial.
Some of our matches today and see if I don't know if we've had one without Royal Giant, and maybe very few that even haven't featured Royal Giant at least one time on both sides. So let's see. Igor and Clown and Mugi both played it in their matchup. Igor and Viper had a Royal Giant mirror matchup today. Lucas played it against Pedro. Pedro did not play Royal Giant in that matchup. That's the first one time going back through these that I see one where they didn't both play it at some point. So in most of our matchups, Adriel Arden looks like didn't actually play Royal Giant. It's been pretty ubiquitous, as you probably would not be surprised.
Interesting. Yeah, and then in this match, looks like we have I don't know, this is wild. We have a minor queen mirror matchup, kind of coming out of nowhere. Haven't seen much of the queen today. The difference in the matchup here is probably going to be the fact that Ian has a slightly quicker cycle. No Berserker, but instead with Ice Spirit Skeletons. I don't know if that's actually a positive thing, though, as you can see already how Adriel's able to use that Berserker to really control the minor in this matchup. It's all about the chip here.
And how much quicker really is that, the one elixir versus two elixir? So quicker, yes. But also the big difference here is going to be the Evos, right? So we have the Evo Ice Spirit for Adriel, not the Evo Ice Spirit for Ian. Give an assumption on what he's putting in the Evo slot there?
Yeah, my guess is probably going to be an Evo Cannon, whatever his building is. Potentially Evo Tesla, more likely an Evo Cannon when paired with the Queen here, though.
And Rocket Cycle begins directly on to the Valk.
Will take the opportunity to drop a queen here in the back, activate his 3-card cycle, and he's going to send a rocket of his own to get some damage. Maybe we'll see a minor too to try and take for this queen and try and get some damage back as Adriel continues to be up. And looks like it is going to be the Tesla Evo for you.
So you're talking about the rocket or the cannon Evo with the Archer Queen, but does that change whether you're playing more of a minor focused cycle deck or the rocket focused cycle deck?
Good question. I think it might change it a little bit. The only reason I would have said cannon instead of Tesla is mainly just because it's cheaper. Like, you do talk about how, one elixir, how much difference can it make, and you're right, especially for the cycle cards. But when you add up the amount of elixir you're spending on buildings over time throughout the match, a lot of the time you do want something a little bit cheaper here, and you can kind of start to see how as he spends so much elixir on his Teslas, he's not having as much for defending against the minor, and Adriel's just up so much damage here. I don't know how, but he just seems to be applying so much better pressure while Adriel continues to catch these minors every time with the Berserker.
And a really great Ice Spirit in the back there as well, timed perfectly to contend with the Rocket. We are pretty even right now, though, and able to cycle Queens, both players, into their non-playing side, or into their own offensive side, if you will. Rocket cycle both directions, log to pull the Miner back a little bit. Miner going to work on the right-hand side, down to 455. Ian running out of time.
Yeah, running out of time and running out of HP. Rocket comes out for Ian, but it's already just rocket range for Adriel.
GG, well played. A2 here, now Sam, a guy that's always been really firmly in control of his emotions. We're going to see if he can bounce back after that devastating loss. We'll see if Adriel just went straight up copy deck, which is something that, honestly, for years, we
Demolisher, Destroyer, just as many goblins as he can hit, plus a Furnace, and right there, Rage coming down, to be able to defend the Skeleton Barrel pretty easily. Those wall breakers should make it to the tower they do.
I'm really curious here if maybe Sam was playing a little bit predictable. Game 1, he goes right back to that deck that he ran that was very successful. I mean, it basically feels like he kind of just swapped what he ran yesterday from Game 1 to Game 2.
Yeah, until I see him lose the set, I'll definitely never say anything as a, he should have done this, just because of all the respect that I have for him, but it's certainly something to look at, especially going against a player like Adriel.
Actually going on that left-hand side, and Sam right now is trying to stop the bleeding. Only person yesterday I believe was the Chef Tower, and here we are once again. And you know, one of the things about the Chef Tower is in single elixir, you really want to put the pedal to the metal. You want to punish them because also his deck gets stronger in double, and you know, the weakness of the tower feels maybe a little bit less of a variable. So could really get more units on board, and some breakthrough here that Dark Goblin going to turn into one Goblin. I just ignore it. Yeah, I ignore it. I go right back on offense. Sammy has 3 elixirs, so we have dual lane here.
Should be able to clean up the Skeleton Barrel pretty nicely with the help of the Bar Barrel, and that's exactly what happens. So tower all the way down to 900, 500 for Zobsan. I mean, he has the opportunity to make it through the Goblin Giants, goes past, and instead he's going to elect to go and Demolisher all the way in the back. I really like this. He's saying that he will be able to make it, and we'll see right now if that's going to be the case.
Sellout push on the right.
Yeah, it's definitely up in the air, but now that the arrows and the Goblin Gang have both been shown, it's definitely looking more and more likely. The Spirit Goblins, can they take out the Dark Goblin entirely? Not going to be the case. The Viper, 3 Spirit Goblins and a Dark Goblin. How does Adriel want to defend? He's going to choose the Berserker, so I believe it's going to be a mortar on mortar.
Yeah, I think so. It makes sense too with the 2 Cannoneer towers. These Cannoneers coupled with mortar 90+% of the time. Nice placement there on that Skelly King, not allowing any death damage or skeleton damage. That's a little bit harder than he made it look, honestly.
That's not what happens to my group.
Yeah, neither.
So one of the interactions that like kind of blows my mind nowadays is that the Bar Barrel gets chip shots, chip damage on top of the power, even against the Cannoneer. Right there, a lot of chip damage coming in from the mortar, just nothing inside the 5 minutes.
Yeah, just holding, waiting for the mortar to connect, then goes Dark Goblin, baits on the arrows, then goes Goblin. It's not an ideal way to start this somewhat mirror matchup. Yeah, those new interactions with the Cannoneer are weird. The one that gets me the most for some reason is the Barbarian is definitely number 2. I don't know why the Bomber always gets me.
I didn't even know that a 2-shot bomber.
Maybe I'm just lying. Oh. That seems good for my job. Yeah, it's definitely one of those interactions. I actually don't think it's a bad interaction. I actually think the changes they made are good. I think it's good that wall breakers actually have this effect now, and I think it's good that they can't control all these tools and cards. So, shout out to the Balance team once again as we see a more line here for Viper trying to even things up. Spirit Empress beats Spirit Empress. Dark Goblin beats Berserker. And this game is more than enough. Actually, you know what? Excuse me. Really, this barrel plus Dark Goblin and Spirit Empress using that damage with that range.
Right there, the Evo Barrel protected. Is it going to get the double shot, double connection? Not. Did he defend properly the Skeleton King again? I think so.
I mean, it looks like it took 100 damage, I think, so maybe one of the barrels.
Yeah, right there. I mean, Viper's doing everything that he can. I just watched the replay. He didn't take a single click of damage right
Wow.
there. Yeah, just brilliant stuff with Skeleton King. Adriel, like, did
That is what I'm so curious about here with Viper's. How is he going to break through 21-34 to 18-17? It's been a while since Viper's gotten some damage in. Is he such a
Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream, until I last breath, every heartbeat.
Yeah, we definitely can't protect the border anymore. So he knows his opponent wants the arrows on top. He does. Can he catch the mark? He does. So clean defense right there. And Adriel, both these players just playing out of their minds. This is really coming.
Yeah, Adriel's just been in the lead for a bit, but honestly, not by much. There we go. 50 there on Barrel. Gonna get a good setup here for the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, with the right lane though, the Skeletons getting on top of the hill, getting all the way down to 7,000 HP. Arrows going down on offense. Plus the Empress, the left lane still needs to be right going down. Out of them, like you want to send that reaction to your mother, and it's like, look, like this guy reacted, and you know she's gonna say, why? What are we doing here? Mom, you don't get it. He doesn't react.
So here we go. Game number 1, bracket finals number 2. This is the last best of 5 for the whole thing.
Pedro starting out this set with the Evo Wall Breakers. His previous set, it saved it for game number 5, instead electing to use it right away. Bomb Tower going to be able to get the aggro for the Wall Breakers. They're going to go to the Bomb Tower instead of the Tower. So always have to wonder if those are the correct decisions or the incorrect one. Right there, Firespear not going to be able to do the dash properly. But with the help of the snowball, those goblins get a ton of triple damage. Monk crossing the bridge. I would have liked to see the activated ability just a little bit earlier. Beautiful wall breakers. If even one of these faces to the tower, that would be one of the better interactions I've seen in my entire life. Instead, either two, but still a very clean defense with 2 plays. 132, one thing to recognize when looking at both of these players and the utilization of their Goblin Drills, a lot of these players are going 1 tile to the left, and we see that right there. And the reason why is because you don't want your opponent to be able to predict where the building, have the Goblins all target the building. When you place it 1 tile to the side, they start chipping away at the tower. So that's why you're seeing kind of a new meta with the Goblin Drill placements. Empress taking out 5 minions. Zap on top of the Fire Spirit. That's going to be a Lone Knight on the right side. We see the drill again placed off to the side. Doesn't give too much value to the Bomb Tower. Forces out the Evo Snowball. So Evo Wall Breakers for Evo Snowball. Fair trade from both of these players. Lit minions, always a fun interaction to watch. The 2 minions on the right side can be able to clean up the cards incredibly nicely. Will have to go Goblin Hut on top. That's a 5 for 2, and still not really doing anything to the Monk or the Empress. Needs the tower to come out. A lot, but you're still there.
Boys are coming in. I'm very happy that I'm seeing both of them. Very calm.
Yeah, definitely one of those things where you're not surprised, but you can't even be mad at a player to not be able to like reset in time for both of these players if you do this up. Minions plus Knight, already going to come in and pick up those minions. Obviously a lot more apparent now that they are ranged instead of long melee, but it did work before. But gonna wake up, take out the Monk, needs to go with the Knight high, and definitely a
hurts just like using the Evo mortar defensively, but sometimes you just gotta do it, man.
And right here, this is going to spell trouble. Not going to be able to defend either of these wall breakers. Bomb tower on top. And a beautiful situation from Adriel just because of a really unlucky time for Adriel.
Yeah, the bomb tower coming out is interesting because we haven't really seen much of the bomb tower at all weekend. And it does just feel like one of those build cards, and especially in a best of 5, that you want to keep your best defensive buildings available, and bomb tower is still not bad.
There, a bit of chip damage. The wall breaker's going to come down the lane. Mine going to be able to protect one of the wall breakers. Helping Zap get the tower down quite low. Pedro needs to figure out something incredibly quickly, but I do not actually.
And there we go. It's all evened up, but I think just on their faces, you can see that Pedro's feeling himself just a little bit more.
So Pedro could be Hog after seeing the Ice Spirit plus the Firecracker on the opposite end. Zerker plus Bomber, you could see Goblin Giant, but after seeing the Tesla, maybe the Drill Rocket deck that we had seen earlier, I think in the previous set. Drill.
Spirit for the Skellies. Skellies for the Ice Spirit. If you want to look at it, log and clean up.
You know, the evolution of placement of Goblin Drills, it felt like it was about time. I was kind of surprised that I mean, it's been out of the game for a year, 2 years, whatever it is. It felt like people are finally, it feels like people are finally starting to understand.
Yeah, the variability of the placement on it is really nice. You also get your point guessing where they can play their troops. I actually really love the super deep Goblin Barrel in the corner that because people are so used to defending up high that sometimes units will just walk away completely and then they have to spend another one. So yeah, I agree. I think the evolution of placement of Goblin Barrel is something that's really interesting, and that it happened. It's just fascinating that it took so long for it to happen.
And as we are 20 seconds away, a beautiful prediction right there from Adriel. Oh my goodness, gorgeous prediction, and you're gonna force out skeletons. I mean, that's one of those plays of the game, plays of the day, really. And I mean, that's the difference between taking 900 damage and then forcing out extra elixir. Wow.
Absolutely, 4 elixir advantage there. Decides to use 2 of it on the Berserker because the boss man was out of cycle, so he's not actually able to put in a good push. So kind of unfortunate cycle-wise, but I still like the idea of how he's used the advantage to his favor, even if he's not going to get much out of it. Does get a little bit of poison damage, does maybe mess up the cycle, and should get a King Tower activation. So at the end of the day, all things kind of fell into place nicely there for Adriel.
Yeah, really good spot. Drill placed off-centered. One of the goblins going to be able to almost 1v3 the skeletons instead of the final third Larry going to be able to take it out. And Tesla.
No, there ain't no stopping us.
Some of the chat saying,
I was down boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast.
would love to see it.
Only a shooting
That
star.
ability is just so
That's not who you are. Flying up in a bar. We're shot a star. Time to show who's in charge. Only a shooting star.
Another drill in as that same boss game is still on the board. Again, this isn't like massive amounts of damage, but you don't need massive amounts of damage. Goblin stab here, goblin stab there, that's all you really shoot.
Yeah, as long as you're able to protect from the firecracker, you will be able to win. But obviously that's way easier said than done. There's so many different opportunities for Pedro to do something, and right there, can he get it out on time without taking any damage? He does.
Wow. And he defends the hog in the opposite lane, and keeps the boss man in health. Another hog comes down, there's the firecracker high. Late snowball, and the ice spirit. Absolutely beautiful.
And right there, boss bandit on the left side, getting the left tower down. Log out of cycle, that's going to be a bomb on top of the tower, plus the goblin, plus the berserker.
That's something that I will never get tired of in a game. Just like a best of 5,
upper bracket reset.
Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Till I might be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in the rest of vibes. If you have swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We are hating because you are shining like it's beyond. Like kings of Leon.
He's gonna let go.
Across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate with my strategy. Turn up, then I just have to leave. Yeah, shoot.
My hands are up in the air. I'm smiling.
Yeah, shoot.
Arnold just trying to
Yeah, shoot. Yeah, shoot.
It was kind of a non-reaction. I was doing the same thing.
Ooh, I don't love that. Tough barrel pick. We all go one side and clean up by a bomber for a -1 trade. And the connection there. So here we go. Another elixir pump comes down. Always thinking about the miner. Miner's the only way to get their miner plus zap. So if you want to defend it with zappies, they're golden, right?
I said I'm moving too far. Get to ground.
Forced out a cannon. It takes a little bit of chip damage, but pretty solid defense.
Solid defense. They'll take down this lane. A bomber in tow. Decides not to use the ability. Okay. And Miner goes to the back of the tower, so now he should be able to get a free pump down. Elixir pump. Okay.
Yeah, and we should see Zappies over the middle with Night High potentially. No, gonna go Furnace. And I like that. You're kind of okay with get those dashes, but Angel. Oh! The miner to take out the Furnace with the curse allows the Spirit Embers to get on top of the tower. And right now, Angel having a really hard time making this deck come together. Yeah, it feels like it should get more value than it actually is. Berserker plus the Bomber are gonna get a lot of value, but not nearly enough. And it's just like Angel just dominated at this moment in time. Angel needs to get another pump down. He's got 100 seconds. He's got enough time to get another pump down and create a move. But he's not doing it. The Miner's been out of cycle numerous times. He's got to figure out a way to use that forward to his advantage. But it was being a fun idea. Yeah, the Zappies do protect the Dark Goblin inside. That's going to be a curse on top of it. Bunch of goblins, so really unfortunate push going there for Angel to get that time. A little bit of chip damage. Fire Spirit can be able to smash on the tower. 7 seconds away from triple OT.
That's right, OT coming in right now. No time to get the pump down in triple OT. For you guys that play at home, triple elixir pumps are not really the vibe. It's just too easy to pick up the elixir. It takes take them off the board. Drill goes into the left, Barrel goes into the left-hand side. Not enough damage there. A good push up in here on the right. And Miner up high. That Dark Goblin Evo Zap comes in. Great Evo Zap there from Pedro. Good clean up on the left. AC, is there any way to break through?
You know, if there is, he's going to find it. He's stacking beautifully. He's setting up correct fortunes, getting himself a lot of offensive pressure. We're going to see Evo can't forced out. He's got some big goblins on top of the tower. Forces out the Zap. He's got Fire Spirits trying to jump, trying to make those jumps.
Obviously, those goblins not doing as much damage as the fake barrel. Miner goes to the back. There's the Dark Goblin patch. Curse comes in, plus the Zap side into the Goblin. Barrel comes in on the left-hand side. Is it enough? He's trying Zap pick.
Did he get it?
I can't see that. I can't see it.
Angel into it. He got it. Yo!
Adrian takes game number